What's going on, 5-9 friends? Ironcane here as one of your hosts for your weekly dose of Gacha news. In today's episode, we'll be covering some pretty interesting collaborations, fresh announcements, and new global releases. I wish everyone starting classes again good luck. For me, it sure has been a struggle getting back to waking up early, but hey, we move. Anyways, y'all know the drill. Like the video if you enjoyed what you saw. Comment down below what gacha you're currently playing right now. And subscribe to 5-9 Gaming to stay in the know of everything we put out on the channel. Also, for more general gaming content, make sure to sub to our new 5-9 Gaming Direct channel as well. And with that out of the way, let's get right into this week's news. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The saga of how the demon lord and dragon founded a nation is now available for pre-registration for JP on mobile devices. Wow, that's a beefy title there. The game is described as a 3D RPG battler that features beloved characters like Lemuru, Benimaru, Shuna, Zeon, Gobuda, and more, including some original characters made just for the game. The title will have an all-new story developed by the series' author, Fusei Sensei. The story follows Lemuru and friends confronting an evil witch of the mirror country called Aegis and his subordinates. During his journey, Lemuru will encounter a girl called Shin-Shia who claims to be his daughter. Fans of the anime can also relive iconic scenes that will be fully voiced, with battles having voice lines as well. Speaking of the battles, they will be in 3D like previously mentioned, with the game boasting to have simple controls with flashy special moves that are very reminiscent of the anime. In nation building mode, players will be able to, well, build their own nations, which allows for the creation of subordinate houses, restaurants, blacksmiths, research institutes, and magic amplification facilities. There will also be an opening animation that will be accompanied by a theme song from Takuma Terashima called Phantom Lights. For pre-registration rewards, players can get Amaterasu Peach Demon Shuna on the house if the game reaches 300,000 pre-registrations. With no word of any other versions at this time, if you would like to pre-register for the title, it is only up for registration on JP, so global people will have to bust out the VPNs or check resources out like QApp. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The saga of how the demon lord and dragon founded a nation is expected to release sometime next year for Android and iOS devices on JP. This week it was revealed that the mobile version of PUBG will be receiving a collaboration with Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Unfortunately, practically zero information was revealed besides this graphic, so we don't really have that much info to go off of here. This crossover could be as simple as some skins inspired by the anime coming, or as big as a mode where the map is affected by some curse as displayed in the graphic. Let us know in the comments what you guys would like to see from the collaboration, and if you think you might give PUBG Mobile a whirl when this crossover eventually starts. PUBG Mobile is available on Android and iOS devices for global, with no confirmation on the release date for the Jujutsu Kaisen Collab at this time. Project Sekai, Colorful Stage featuring HatsuneMiku, is coming to global. The game's announcement saw the launch of the title's official website, Twitter, Facebook, a YouTube channel, and even an Instagram, so there's plenty of things to follow if you want updates. On the YouTube page in particular, a video from the devs was posted, but unfortunately they didn't reveal any information on pre-registration just yet. They did disclose that the game will release sometime this year, though they didn't specify specifically what date. If you're unfamiliar with the title, it's a mobile rhythm game released by Saga and Colorful Palette, where players can experience live music videos and read character stories in-game. If the game sounds up your alley, make sure to follow the pages previously mentioned for updates, and of course, if you missed them, we'll make sure to cover anything major here on Gacha News. World Flipper, the pinnacle pinball gacha experience, is coming to global September 8th. If you've never heard of the game, allow me to give you the summary. Basically, it's a pinball gacha game, but this isn't your grandma's pinball gacha game. Oh no. World Flipper is an RPG where the goal is to aim and time your attacks to get maximum damage in combination with character skills, which can even be used with another character, allowing for some pretty broken combos. The game will feature multiple worlds to explore, co-op, unique stories, and illustrations for each character, and good old pixel art. The game already hit all of its pre-registration rewards, getting players 2,500 Lodestar beads and 4-star Orisa. Also, if players register on the App Store or Google Play, they'll be eligible for an exclusive ticket that can get you a 4 or 5-star character. World Flipper will be available on Android and iOS devices September 8th and is currently up for pre-registration. By the way, this is a side games title, making Musume the most recent release by the developer, so maybe its global version will be nearing soon. And speaking of Musume, it was announced that the game will be getting a somewhat unexpected collaboration with Top Gun Maverick. If you didn't know, there's actually a character in the game called Mayano Top Gun, and fun fact, she's based on a real Japanese racehorse by the same name. Back to the collaboration. In terms of information to give you guys, there really isn't any besides the initial announcement, sadly, but Top Gun Maverick, the sequel to Top Gun that came out in 1986, which we all know I definitely didn't see, is coming out November 19th this year. So I definitely expect the collaboration to launch sometime around then. You know, makes sense, right? Musume has taken the gacha world by storm, and if you'd like to get in on it, the game is available for JP on Android and iOS devices. And for my last story, I'll be talking about Revived Witch. The game is basically an Octopath-looking mobile RPG, but if you want to hear more about its plot and whatnot, we just covered it on last week's episode. So if you're interested, please check out our story on it. Now, for this week's story, players can get themselves a limited EX doll called the Princess of Aurora by reaching a certain point in the closed beta. Closed beta will start on September 15th and run through the 23rd. So if you want to try out the game, now there's even more incentive to do so. Before I forget, the game is currently up for pre-registration, and as of making this episode, it's sitting around 21,000, which is 80,000 away from clearing all rewards and getting a warped hymn and some souls, so get to registering if you want free stuff. Revive Witch will be available on Android and iOS devices for global sometime this year, with a closed beta starting the 15th of this month. And with that, I'm all done for the week. Time to throw things over to my man Sly. Take it away, bro.
Thanks, Iron. Starting off this segment will be Genshin Impact. As mentioned by Iron last week, Baal has now come out. And since she is now here, we can go over her kit and see what she does and how to build her. Disclaimer, I have already looked her over last night after the update dropped. She is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, so best to get a snack before we start this. Got your snack? Good. Let's get started. Starting with her elemental skill, Baal will deal electro damage to nearby opponents and grant nearby party members the Eye of Stormy Judgment buff. When characters with this buff attack and deal damage to opponents, the Eye will unleash a coordinated attack, dealing AoE electro damage at the opponent's position. Characters who gain the Eye will have their elemental burst damage increased based on the energy cost of the elemental burst during the Eye's duration. So not only will Baal be dishing out a ton of damage, because trust me, she can, Baal will also be giving nearby allies a buff. Let's see what her elemental burst has in store. Baal will unleash the Muso no Hitotachi and deal AoE electro damage, and will use Muso Ishin in combat for a duration afterward. For the rest of this segment, I'll refer to them as Hitotachi and Ishin to simplify names. Back to her burst. The damage dealt by Hitotachi will be increased based on the number of Chakra Desiderata resolve stacks consumed upon usage. Again, for simplicity, I'll refer to this as Desiderata. While in the Ishin state, Baal will wield her Tachi in battle. This is her blade we have seen her wield. In this state, her normal, charged, and plunging attacks will be infused with electro damage, which cannot be overridden. Also, while in the Ishin state, her resistance to interruption is increased, and she is immune to electro-charged reaction damage. Lastly, while this state is active, her normal, charged, and plunging attack damage will be considered burst damage. Dear Lord. Make sure to kit her out for Elemental Mastery, along with the standard crit rate and damage builds to maximize her damage. To quickly summarize the Desiderata stacks, when nearby party members, excluding Baal herself, use their burst, Baal will build up resolve stacks based on the cost of these bursts. You can have a max of 60 stacks. Like I said, she's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. However, she is really good and plays super fluidly and is a lot of fun. If you wish to test her out, you can boot up her trial event and test her out to your heart's content. She will leave in 3 weeks' time, so if you wish to obtain her, now's the time until her rerun. Next up will be One Piece Treasure Cruise. Hold on to your seatbelts for this because this is shaping up to be the best celebration in the game's history. The name of this celebration is called Celebrating the Long Voyage. This celebration lasts until October 12th, so there's plenty of time to enjoy the festivities. Over a month, in fact. Starting on September 7th and running until October 12th, you can obtain up to 100 free rare recruits during the Sugo Fest. The first period will be from September 7th to September 16th. The second period will be from September 11th until October 12th. Sound weird? Don't worry, this is a good weird. The first period will be on a free rare recruit banner. The second period, however, you will have a chance to potentially obtain a Super Sugo Fest only character. Sounds exciting, right? No further information pertaining to these free summons right now, but more info will be announced here on the Gacha News segment when that info is known to us. Another campaign running alongside this one is Go All the Way to the Top. With this, you can do 2 free multis on special banners available. The first multi will be all Sugo Fest units, meaning they will all be Sugo Fest exclusive units. The second multi will be 4 stars or better. For this multi, the last poster will be a guaranteed Sugo Fest that debuted between August 26th of last year and August 25th of this year. So units such as Ace vs. Kaido vs. Big Mom, and the 3 global anniversary units will be available in that last slot. Do note, Super Sugo Fest only characters are not included at all in either of these multis. September 11th will be the debuting of the upcoming Sugo Fest for Luffy, Law, and Kid. Do note this is a Super Sugo Fest banner. More info on those units next week. Lastly, we have Dragalia Lost. As it is the start of the new month, we have the monthly article of This Month in Dragalia Lost. Let's take a look at what Okada has in store for us. First up, we have the Knights of Alberia Invasion event. Take down as many enemies as you can in the allotted time to gain heroism. Reach a total of 630,000 points to obtain the first ever Blade Skill Damage Worm print. Finally! All weapons now have a Weapon Skill Damage print, all of which cap at the maximum of 40%. Next up, we have the newest Gala exclusive unit, Gala Beast Volk. Yes, the Agito boss. To summarize his kit, he gives 100% strength to all Winded Tune adventurers. However, this is a monkey's paw, as no matter what the adventurer's elemental attunement is, Volk will lower their affliction resistance by 150%. Meaning you will no longer have any resistance to affliction, so you have to play more conservative and smartly. Gala Volk is really good, but if you wish to keep the safety of afflictions, Gala Reborn Zephyr still gets the job done. You just won't be dishing out the same amount of damage as you would be with Volk. Next, we have the next trial in the Trials of the Mighty event, Nidhogg. Build a team made up of any light dagger, lance, and staff unit and take on this trial to acquire the convictions and devotions needed to Mana Spiral Yaten. Then we move on to the newest boss in the Rise of the Sinister Dominion event, Iblis. With this Dominion brings the extra worm print slots for Winded Tune adventurers. Healer T-Hope users, rise up! It is our time! So far, this Dominion brings in 2 new affinities to worm prints, Fog, the fish, and Sleep, the butterfly. Iblis will be Water Shadow, so build up your wind and light units to take on Master difficulty. Lastly, we will be getting the rerun event for Divine Deception. This event brings the Cleansing Fount facility and will add in an extra 5 levels, allowing for a max level of 35 for the facility. This facility will buff Dagger and Mana Caster units. That's all for this week's Gacha News. I'm your co-host Sly, signing us off here at 59 Gaming. Have a great weekend, everybody.